explanation needed. This week, we are going to be we are going to be reading chapter 29 of It Ends With Us. I'm excited, but I'm also kind of nervous because I don't really know. Last chapter felt like a wrap-up on Atlas, but then it also felt like a wrap-up of Ryle. Like, I really don't know exactly what to expect this chapter, so I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm nervous. Let's go ahead and get into it. Chapter 29. Alyssa drops onto the couch beside me and Riley. I miss you so much, Lily, she says. I'm thinking about coming back to work a day or two a week. I laugh, a little shocked by her comment. I live downstairs and I visit almost every day. How could you possibly miss me? It's been 6 weeks since she had Riley, so I'm sure she would be cleared to come back to work. But I honestly didn't think she'd even want to come back now that she has Riley. I bend forward and give Riley a kiss on her nose. Would you bring Riley with you? Alyssa shakes her head. No, you keep me too busy for that. Marshall can watch her while I work. You mean you don't have people for that? Marshall is passing through the living room when he hears me say that. Shh, Lily, don't speak like a rich girl in front of my daughter. Blasphemy. I laugh. That's why I come over here a few nights a week, because it's the only time I laugh. It's been 6 weeks since Ryle left for England, and no one knows what happened between us. Ryle hasn't told anyone, and neither have I. Everyone, my mother included, believes he simply left for the study at Cambridge and that nothing has changed between us. I also still haven't told anyone about the pregnancy. I've been to the doctor twice. It turns out I was actually 12 weeks along the night I found out I was pregnant, which makes me 18 weeks along now. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I've been on the pill since I was 18. Apparently being forgetful a few times caught up with me. I'm beginning to show, but it's cold out, so it's been easy to hide. No one suspects a thing when you have on baggy sweaters and a jacket. I know I need to tell someone soon, but I feel like Ryle should be the first one I tell, and I don't want to do that after a long-distance phone conversation. He'll be back in 6 weeks. If I can somehow keep things quiet until then, I'll decide where to go from there. I look down at Riley and she's smiling up at me. I make silly faces at her to make her smile more. There have been so many times I've wanted to tell Alyssa about the pregnancy, but it makes it hard when the secret I'm keeping is being kept from her own brother. I don't want to put her in that kind of situation, no matter how much it kills me that I can't talk to her about it. How are you holding up without Ryle? Alyssa asks. Are you ready for him to come home? I nod, but I don't say anything. I always try to push off the subject when she brings him up. Alyssa leans back into the couch and says, is he still liking Cambridge? Yes, I say, sticking my tongue out at Riley. She grins. I wonder if my baby will look like her. I hope so. She's really cute, but I might be a little partial. Did he ever figure out the subway situation there? Alyssa laughs. I swear every time I talk to him, he's lost. He can't figure out whether to take the A line or the B line. Yeah, I tell her. He figured it out. Alyssa sits up on the couch. Marshall walks into the living room and Alyssa takes Riley out of my hands. She hands her to Marshall and says, will you change her diaper? Oh, I feel like she knows something's up. I don't know why she asked him that. I just changed her diaper. Marshall scrunches up his nose and lifts Riley out of Alyssa's arms. Are you a stinky girl? Oh, they're wearing matching onesies. Alyssa grabs my hands and yanks me off the couch so fast I squeal. Where are we going? She doesn't answer me. She marches toward her bedroom and then slams the door once we're both inside. She paces back and forth a few times and then she stops and faces me. You better tell me what the hell is going on right now, Lily. I pull back in shock. What is she talking about? My hands instantly go to my stomach because I think maybe she's noticed, but she doesn't look at my stomach. She takes a step forward and pokes a finger in my chest. There is no subway system in Cambridge, England, you idiot. What? I am She walks over to her bed and sits down next to me, pulling my hands in hers. I don't even know where to start. She squeezes my hands but says nothing. For the next 15 minutes, I tell her everything. I tell her about the fight. I tell her about Atlas picking me up. I tell her about the hospital. I tell her about the pregnancy. I tell her about how, for the last 6 weeks, I cry myself to sleep every single night because I have never felt so alone and so scared. When I'm finished telling her everything, we're both crying. She hasn't responded to what I've told her with anything other than the occasional, "Oh, Lily." She doesn't have to respond though. Ryle is her brother. I know she wants me to take his past into consideration just like the last time it happened. I know she'll want me to work things out with him because he's her brother. We're supposed to be one big happy family. I know exactly what she's thinking. She's quiet for a long time as she struggles through everything I've told her. She finally lifts her eyes to mine and squeezes my hands. "My brother loves you, Lily. He loves you so much. You have changed his entire life and have made him someone that I never thought he could be. As his sister, I wish more than anything that you could find a way to forgive him. But as your best friend, I have to tell you that if you take him back, I will never speak to you again." That was unexpected. It takes a moment for her words to register, but when they do, I start sobbing. She starts sobbing. She wraps her arms around me and we cry over the mutual love we have for Ryle. We cry over how much we hate him right now. After several minutes of us sobbing pathetically on her bed, she releases me and walks over to her dresser to retrieve a box of tissues. We're both wiping our eyes and sniffling when I say, "You're the best friend I've ever had." She nods. I know I'm gonna be the best aunt. She wipes her nose and sniffles again, but she's smiling. "Lily, you're having a baby," she says with excitement, and it's the first moment I've been able to share any sense of joy over my pregnancy. I hate to say it, but I noticed you put on some weight. I thought you were just depressed and eating a lot since Ryle left. She walks to the back of her closet and starts pulling things out for me. "I have so many maternity clothes to give you." We start going through clothes and she pulls down a suitcase and opens it. She begins to throw things toward the suitcase until it starts to overflow. "I could never wear these," I tell her, holding up a skirt that still has the price tag on it. "They're all designer. I'll get them dirty." She laughs and shoves them into the suitcase anyway. "I won't need them back. If I get pregnant again, I'll just have my people buy me more." She pulls a shirt off a hanger and hands it to me. "Here, try this one on." I take my shirt off and pull the maternity shirt over my head. When I get it into place, I look in the mirror. I look pregnant. Like, you can't hide this shit pregnant. She puts a hand on my stomach and stares in the mirror with me. "Have you found out if it's a boy or girl?" I shake my head. "I don't really want to know." "I hope it's a girl," she says. "Our daughters can be besties." "Lily." We both spin around to find Marshall standing in the doorway. His eyes are on my stomach. On Alyssa's hand, still on my stomach. He tilts his head. He points at me. He says confused. "Lily, do you realize you're pregnant?" Alyssa calmly walks to the door and puts her head on the doorknob. "There are some things you are never, ever to repeat if you want to keep me as your wife. This is one of those things. Understood?" Marshall raises his eyebrows and takes a step back. "Yes, okay, got it. Lily is not pregnant." He kisses Alyssa on the forehead and looks back at me. "I am not telling you congratulations, Lily, for absolutely nothing." Alyssa shoves him all the way out the door and closes it, then turns back to me. "We need to plan a baby shower," she says. "No, I need to tell Ryle first." She waves her hand dismissively. "We don't need him to plan a baby shower. We'll just keep it between the two of us until then." She pulls out her laptop, and for the first time since I found out I was pregnant, I feel happy about it. And that's chapter 29. That one was a little bit short, you guys, so I think we're gonna go into chapter 32. Let's get into it. Chapter 30. It's rather convenient only having to take an elevator to get home from Alyssa's. As much as I want to move out of my own apartment at times, it's still strange living there. We only lived there a week before we split up, and Ryle left for England. It never even had the chance to feel like home, and now it feels a little tainted. I haven't even been able to sleep in our bedroom since that night, so I've been sleeping in the guest room on my old bed. Alyssa and Marshall are still the only ones who know about the pregnancy. It's only been 2 weeks since I told them, which makes me 20 weeks along now. I know I should tell my mother, but Ryle will be back in a few weeks. I feel like I should tell him first before anyone else finds out. I should probably just accept the fact that I'm more than likely going to have to call him and tell him long distance. I haven't seen my mother face to face in 2 weeks. It's the longest we've gone without seeing each other since she moved to Boston. So if something doesn't happen soon, she'll show up at my front door when I'm not prepared. I swear my stomach has doubled in size these last 2 weeks alone. If someone sees me who knows me well, it'll be impossible to hide. So far, no one at the floral shop has asked about it. I think I'm still on the cusp of, is she pregnant or just chubby? I start to unlock the door to my apartment, but it begins to open from the other side. Before I can pull the jacket over to hide my stomach from whoever is on the other side of the door, Ryle's eyes land on me. I'm wearing one of the shirts Alyssa gave me, and it's kind of impossible to hide the fact that I'm wearing a maternity shirt when he is staring right at it. Ryle is here. My heart begins to smash against the walls of my chest. My neck begins to itch, so I bring my hands up and rest it there, feeling the pounding of my heart against my palm. It's pounding because I'm terrified of him. It's pounding because I hate him. It's pounding because I missed him. His eyes slowly crawl over my stomach to my face. A hurtful expression takes over him, like I've just stabbed him straight through the heart. He takes a step back into my apartment, and his hands come up to his mouth. He begins to shake his head in confusion. I can see the betrayal all over his face when he barely forces out my name. Lily. I stand frozen, one hand on my stomach in protection, the other hand still flat against my chest. I'm too scared to move or say anything. I don't want to react until I know exactly how he's going to react. When he sees the fear in my eyes and the small gasp of breath I'm barely inhaling, he holds up a reassuring palm. I'm not going to hurt you, Lily. I'm just here to talk to you. He swings the door open wider and points into the living room. But look, he steps aside and my eyes fall to someone standing behind him. Now I'm the one who feels betrayed. Marshall. Marshall immediately holds up his hands in defense. I had no idea he was coming back early, Lily. Ryle texts me and asks me for my help. He specifically told me not to say anything to you or Alyssa. Please don't let her divorce me. I'm simply an innocent bystander. I shake my head, trying to understand what I'm seeing. I asked him to meet me here so you'd feel more comfortable talking to me. Ryle says, he's here for you. He's not here for me. I glance back at Marshall and he nods. It gives me enough reassurance to enter the apartment. Ryle is still somewhat in shock, which is understandable. His eyes keep beating my stomach and then flicking away like it hurts to look at me. He runs 2 hands through his hair and then points down the hallway while looking at Marshall. We'll be in the bedroom. If you hear me if I start to yell, Marshall knows what Ryle is asking him. I'm not going anywhere. As I follow Ryle into my bedroom, I wonder what that must be like. To have no idea what might set you off or how bad your reaction will be. To have absolutely no control over your own emotions. For a brief moment, I feel a minuscule amount of sorrow for him. But when my eyes fall to our bed and I remember that night, my sorrow diminishes completely. Ryle pushes the door shut, but doesn't close it all the way. He looks like he's aged an entire year in the 2 months it's been since I've seen him. The bags under his eyes, the furrowed brow, the sunken posture. If regret took human form, it would look identical to Ryle. His eyes fall to my stomach again and he takes a slow step forward, then another. He's cautious, as he should be. He reaches out a timid hand, asking for permission to touch me. I nod slowly. He takes one more step forward and then places a steady palm against my stomach. I can feel the warmth of his hand through my shirt, and my no love attached to the action, the pain would be a little easier to bear. He moves his hand over my stomach and I open my eyes again. He's shaking his head like he can't process what's happening right now. I watch as he slowly sinks to his knees in front of me. His arms snake around my waist and he brushes his lips against my stomach. He claps his hands around my lower back and presses his forehead against me. It's hard to describe what I feel for him in this moment. Like any mother would want for her child, it's a beautiful thing to see the love he already has. It's been hard not sharing this with anyone. It's hard not being able to share this with him, no matter how much resentment I hold toward him. My hands go to his hair while he holds me against him. Part of me wants to scream at him and call the police like I should have done that night. Part of me feels for the little boy who held his brother in his arms and watched him die. Part of me wishes I would have never met him. Part of me wishes I could forgive him. He unwraps his arms from around my waist and presses a hand into the mattress next to me. He pulls himself up and then sits on the bed. His elbows rest on his knees and his hands are drawn up to his mouth. I sit next to him, knowing we have to have this conversation but not wanting to. Naked truths. He nods. I don't know which one of us is supposed to go first. I don't really have much to say to him at this point, so I wait for him to speak first. I don't even know where to start, Lily. He rubs his hands down his face. How about you start with, I'm sorry I attacked you. His eyes meet mine, wide with certainty. Lily, you have no idea. I am so sorry. You have no idea what I've been through these past 2 months knowing what I've done to you. I clench my teeth together. I can feel my fingers as they fist around the blanket beside me. I have no idea what he's been through. I shake my head slowly. You have no idea, Ryle. I stand up, the anger and hatred spilling out of me. I spin, pointing at him. You have no idea. You have no idea what it's like to go through what you put me through. To fear for your life at the hands of the man you love. To get physically sick just thinking about what he's done to you. You have no idea, Ryle. None. F you. F you for doing this to me. I suck in a huge breath, shocked at my anger. The anger just came out like a wave. I swipe at my tears and spin around, unable to look at him. Lily, he says. I don't know, I yell, spinning around again. I am not finished. You don't get to say your truth until I've said mine. Queen, go off, Queen. He's grabbing at his jaw, squeezing the stress out of it. He drops his eyes to the floor, unable to look at the rage in mine. I take 3 steps toward him and drop to my knees. I place my hands on his legs, forcing him to look me straight in the eyes while I speak to him. Yes, I kept the magnet Atlas gave me when we were kids. Yes, I kept the journals. No, I didn't tell you about my tattoo. Yes, I probably should have. And yes, I still love him. And I'll love him until the day that I die because he was a huge part of my life. And yes, I'm sure that hurt you. But none of that gave you the right to do what you did to me. Even if you would have walked into my bedroom and caught us in bed together, you still would not have the right to lay a hand on me. You goddamn son of a bitch. I push off his knees and stand up again. Now it's your turn, I yell. I continue pacing the room. My heart is pounding like it wants out. I wish I could give it a way out. I'd set that mother effer free right now if I could. Several minutes pass as I continue to pace. Ryle's silence and my anger eventually just fold together into pain. My tears have exhausted me. I am so tired of feeling. I fall desperately onto my bed and cry into my pillow. I press my face so hard against my pillow I can barely breathe. I feel Ryle lie down next to me. He places a gentle hand on the back of my head, attempting to soothe away the pain he's causing me. My eyes are closed, still pressed into the pillow, but I feel him gently rest his head against mine. My truth is that I have absolutely nothing to say, he says quietly. I'll never be able to take back what I did to you, a hard situation. The pain in his voice ripples through me, and when I lift my tear-soaked face to look at him, his lips are pressed desperately to mine and then pulls back. Don't do that. Please, Lily. I love you. Help me. Ew. His lips desperately meet mine again. When I don't push him away, his mouth comes back a third time, a fourth. When his lips meet mine the fifth time, they don't leave. He wraps his arms around me and pulls me to him. My body is tired and weak, but it remembers him. My body remembers how his body can soothe everything I'm feeling. How his has a gentleness in it that my body has been craving for 2 months now. I love you, he whispers against my mouth. His tongue sweeps softly against mine, and it's so wrong and so good and so painful. Before I know it, I'm on my back and he's crawling on top of me. His touch is everything I need and everything I shouldn't. His hands wrap in my hair, and in an instant, I'm transferred back to that night. I'm in the kitchen, and his hand is tangled in my hair so hard it hurts. He brushes the hair from my face, and in an instant, I'm transferred back to that night. I'm standing in the doorway, and his hand is trailing across my shoulder right before he bites into me with all of the strength in his jaw. His forehead rests gently against mine, and in an instant, I'm transferred back to that night. I'm on the same bed beneath him when he slams his head against mine so hard I have to get 6 stitches. My body becomes unresponsive to him. The anger begins to roll back over me. His mouth stops moving against mine when he feels me freeze. When he pulls back and looks down at me, I don't even have to say anything. Our eyes lock together, speak more naked truth than our mouths ever have. My eyes are telling his that I can no longer stand being touched by him. His eyes are telling mine that he already knows. He begins to nod. Slowly, he backs away from me, crawling down my body until he's at the edge of the bed with his back to me. He's still nodding as he comes to a slow stand, fully aware that he's not getting my forgiveness tonight. He begins heading toward my bedroom door. Wait, I say to him. He half turns, looking back at me from the doorway. I lift my chin, looking at him with finality. I wish this baby wasn't yours, Ryle. With everything that I am, I wish this baby was not a part of you. If I thought his world couldn't crumble more, I was wrong. He walks out of my bedroom and I press my face into my pillow. I thought if I could just hurt him like he had hurt me, I would feel avenged. I don't. Instead, I feel vindicated and mean. I feel like my father. Whoa. And that's chapter 30. Wow. Okay. That was a roller coaster of emotions, you guys. Like, what in the heck? That was intense. That was really intense. Wow. I mean, at least everything is out in the open, and Lily got to like say her piece with the whole situation. I really like the way she just let him have it, you know. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen next chapter. I don't even know